before we start this whole thing, I just need to give my thanks to all of you guys. Thank you for getting me where I am now. I never would have imagined that I would become this popular on the internet. Sure, I make the videos, but it's all of you who drive me on and on further down the road. Keep in mind, I'm speaking to all my loyal subscribers, not those overly bitchy JonTron fanboys that claim me as a ripoff. This is for all of you true fans out there who honestly respect my work. You guys voted, and now we're gonna look at the moments I've shined the most in, and the mistakes that make me look foolish. I know half of this special will be similar to the top 10 videos I am most proud of, but these moments have been decided completely by the viewers, and I've also done quite a few new projects since then, so it's sure to be a little different. Which of these are the best of the best, and the worst of the worst? Well, let's find out. Alright, Midbis, play the flashy transition. Starting greatest moments off is the only moment on the entire list that is not from a countdown at all. Now, most of my viewers tend to overlook my Metroid Fusion Let's Play. Rather disappointing, but whatever. But there were a handful of people who have checked it out and ended up loving it. Which is good, because I personally really like how it turned out. I think everyone who watched it would agree that there were a bunch of funny moments in it. Whether it be my duel with Yakuza X, or me going berserk with the speed booster. Probably the most popular moment from the whole project was when I encountered Nightmare. When fighting Nightmare, I cracked a few jokes and even talked smack to it. But the funniest part is when I finally ended up killing him. Die! Yeah! He's dead! No more nightmares! Yeah! I'm gonna lose my mind. I don't care. I don't care. You know why? Because he's dead. I don't care. God, that laugh I made kind of creeps me out. Oh well, another quirky and generally amusing scene. Just as I intended it to be. While it's far from my best work, top 10 video game franchises was definitely fun to make. Considering it was both scripted and edited in only 2 days, it's quite a remarkable feat that I managed to pull off. Probably the reason it was so easy to make was because I know my favorite franchises right off the top of my head. The strange part about this list is that I only cursed once in the video. Pretty strange for someone like me. Okay, yeah, 7 of the 10 entries were from Nintendo, and a lot of people complained about my negative attitudes towards Microsoft, but it is my opinion, and it certainly turned out better than I initially expected. Check it out. The Mario series is the best-selling and most gargantuan series of games ever, selling over 300 million units and expanding approximately 220 games. That's downright unbelievable. In addition to its colossal success, the Mario series has just about every genre imaginable within it. Platforming, sports, racing, party, puzzle, RPG, and even action exploration. No matter what genre it is, Nintendo makes sure that every installment is a masterpiece. And they do just that. Alright, this is one that everyone is on the fence about. Top 10 E3 2012 announcements. This list had a lot of mixed feedbacks. Most people liked it, but I have gotten some negative comments about it. Trust me, I'll be getting to that soon. Although most people would probably agree that the jokes I put in this one were generally entertaining, even more so than usual. Another good thing that this list did was show that I don't just play Nintendo games. The general majority of my audience thinks I play only Nintendo games. I can't tell you how much that pisses me off. All I can say is that this one was a simple joy to edit. And considering I was talking about games that weren't even released yet, it turned out better than I could have hoped. So, here's a segment from Top 10 E3 2012 announcements. The first one on this list is Assassin's Creed 3. Now, whoa. You might be thinking, hey, well, Mr. Minion, you like Assassin's Creed? Psh, nah. I'm not too big a fan of the series at the moment, but I have played the first one, and while it's an above decent game, I wouldn't exactly call it a masterpiece.
Hi there!
Holy shit, I love this list. Top 10 Anti-Heroes was probably the most well-made top 10 I've ever taken part in. When I first came up with this idea, I figured I'd make it a voting-based contest. Not the smartest idea, I know, but that doesn't mean the video itself had to be bad. Originally I had planned to make this one a solo countdown, but then I got a message from a good friend of mine wanting to join in on the action. So, Rabbit Luigi and I teamed up to tackle this topic head-on. With my editing and Will's beastly scripting, there was no way we could have fucked this up. Sure, this could be considered cheating due to it being a combined effort, but I am in the video, so it counts regardless. Give this list a watch because it's definitely one of the better lists of both of our careers.
If a developer can create a video game character that relates to the player, it can really improve the player's impression of the game. And with 94 votes, we have a character who is arguably the greatest example of a relatable video game character. Travis Touchdown.
Everyone's favorite Otaku, Travis is a professional assassin who works for Sylvia Christel and her United Assassins Association. He's arrogant, he's cocky, he destroys everything in sight, and he wields a fucking lightsaber. Or, to be more politically correct, a beam katana. Hey Will, if you're watching, how about we do this again sometime, huh? Hey, just putting that out there. Now, I'm sure this is a list that every one of my subscribers knows about. Top 10 most underrated video games. Oh man, I couldn't even begin to tell you how much of a huge success this list was. It's one of my highest rated countdowns, and it's still the most viewed video on my channel. It may be pretty subpar compared to what I do today, but this was a godsend when I first made it. At the time, I was still developing my own style of video making. It doesn't seem like it from a viewer's perspective, but I was having a lot of trouble coming up with my own style. But after some rough scripting with this topic, the idea just hit me. So, I went ahead and wrote my ideas down in the script. And as soon as I made this video, I knew exactly how I would stay for the rest of my career here on YouTube. As for the video itself, I am still fairly proud of it today, and I occasionally watch it for a little taste of my own nostalgia. Assuming you haven't already watched it, make sure to give this one a watch. Unless you're a pretentious douche that can't take anyone else's opinion, this list shouldn't disappoint.
To many consumers, the modern 3D Sonic games were just unappealing, especially Sonic 06. I largely concur. I say largely because I believe there is an exception. Sonic Unleashed. Now, I might get questions pertaining to my affection toward it, but I'll put it plain and simple. I fucking love this game. I'm not just referring to the daytime stages with normal Sonic. Yes, I said it. I actually liked the Werehog stages.
Don't you just love it when I have fury? Fucking in the face! Move your ass! Fuck motherfucking fuck you! Bitch! Yeah, just about everybody does. And no countdown has had quite as much fury as top 15 most hated video game characters. Sure, the topic was a strike of unoriginality, but everyone seemed to have fun with it. Hell, I know I did. Little fun fact, part 2 of this list was uploaded on none other than New Year's Day. How fortunate can you get? Out of the entire list, there was one particular moment in which most viewers rather enjoyed. Yeah, it's none other than Kepra fucking Gepra. That fucking owl. Kebra Gebra, or however you want to fucking say it, is one of the most useless NPCs you will ever encounter. This accursed bird was the designer's way of telling you, hey dumbass, you gotta do this and that and this and that over and over until you go brain dead. Thanks, developers! God, I hate that fucking bird. As I've touched upon before, things can get really unstable when I go nuts. And honestly, it's times like this when I'm the most amusing. And the list I've acted the craziest in is none other than top 15 Mario Party minigames. As you all know, I myself am ridiculously proud of this list. First off, it was unspeakably fun to edit this. Whether it be for the feeling of nostalgic memories, or simply laughing at a joke I made, I had so much fun editing this. And it looks like everyone else had just as much fun watching it. There were quite a few moments that stood out, but I think everyone can agree that the most memorable moment from that list was the Team Fortress 2 hockey match of pain.
I will not tolerate failure on my team.
Get some more!
Incoming! Let's talk more fight!
That wasn't supposed to happen.
Ah, am I too violent for you, Cupcake?
Yeah, nice moves, Mumbles. This map ain't big enough for the two of us.
To the right!
Got anything funny to say about that, funny man?
Nice try, pal.
Ah, that's the way you do it! You are no match for me. You cannot beat me.
Fire! Fire! Fire!
Guts and glory, lads! I didn't need your help, you know. Stand on the bloody point, you half-wit!
Right face!
I am bulletproof!
Oh man, that's funny.
Whoa, Meta Knight, fuck yeah!
Yeah, that was it. Speaking of Fury, everybody remember top 10 worst Unova Pokemon? Yeah, this is definitely one of my, or excuse me, our best countdowns as of yet. This list was mostly for shits and giggles, but we did take time to analyze what we were talking about. And there was a lot of rage. A lot of it. Some moments worthy of noting are Ben's guide to helping the nostalgically blind, the Basculin entry, and even the Alamomola rant. But I think most people would agree that the most entertaining and definitely the loudest part of the whole video was at number 3. As soon as I heard that accursed cry, I simply went berserk. Audino is easily the worst normal type in Gen 5. Its move pool is enormous, but that doesn't make up for shitty offensive stats. Audino is also a big fuck you to the player when they think that there's a good Pokemon in the rustling grass. But no, we have this fucking thing. Audino doesn't even do its job well either. It's supposed to be a tanking supporter, but considering you find them so fucking often in single player, and most of their leveling up moves are supportive, there's no point to catching one. Right from the beginning of this video, we all knew what the number 1 spot would be. There was no denying it. It had to be a moment for my greatest countdown ever. Top 100 favorite Pokemon. Oh man, I am so proud of what I have accomplished here. Never before had I been so compassionate, dedicated, or even informative in my entire YouTube career. Hell, this is probably the most compassionate I've ever been in my entire life. From beginning to end, I did everything I could possibly do to make this something special and entertaining for all of my fans. By the look of things, I appear to have succeeded. The countdown itself was incredibly long, a total length of over 3.5 hours long. While it was strenuous, it truly was a fun ride, and I forced myself to make every entry stand out on its own. For the most part, I was relatively my normal self throughout the list, informative in my words and always trying to get a good laugh out of my audience. But I finished the list up with a generally surprising twist. A moment so well delivered that it simply couldn't be anything but number 1. Let me get this straight. Darkrai, a Pokemon that was appalled by the entire town, risked his life for all those who lived there. That, to me, shows just how deep of a Pokemon Darkrai is. He is the definitive proof that Pokemon can possess feelings, integrity, and even human spirit, regardless of how people feel about it. And that is why Darkrai is my favorite Pokemon of all time. It's not because he's a legendary. It's because of how well they show the emotional aspects of Darkrai, rather than just his power. Some of you might think what I'm saying is beyond corny, but this is no exaggeration. I truly feel this way. Some people believe that Pokemon is not supposed to be deep in any sense. But after seeing Darkrai's tragic and beautiful story of desperation, I honestly don't see why not. Darkrai's actions are unlike any character I've ever seen, and this applies to all media. Not only did he change my outlook on Pokemon, but he also changed my outlook on life itself. I'm serious, he means an awful lot to me. He showed me that even something commonly seen as nothing more than a fighting tool can in fact be a beautifully deep and wondrous piece of writing. And that is something no other Pokemon or figure can ever replicate. He's original, he's powerful, and unfathomably memorable for his nightmare abilities and all his valiant deeds. I am Fawful's Minion, and Darkrai is by far my favorite Pokemon ever. He's more than a Pokemon. He's a hero. He's my hero. Man, I still can't believe how good this turned out. The Darkrai segment is without doubt my greatest moment ever. Not only by all my viewers, but even I think so too. Unlike the majority of the list, this entry didn't focus on gags or even entertainment for that matter. What I really focused on here was nothing but pure emotion and honest-to-death heartfelt explanation, which is something I don't try too often. Little fun fact, it took me 7 takes to perfect this segment alone. By the time I reached the 6th take, I was thinking that I simply could not go through with this. I was having so many conflicts when making this segment. I thought that most people wouldn't give a flying fuck about my affection, and I seriously expected to be ridiculed after releasing this. But man, was I fucking wrong. This ended up becoming a speech that many people actually cared about. Throughout all the jokes and sheer chaos in my videos, I've never been this serious before. It really was a surprise for everyone to hear how serious my feelings towards Darkrai really are. You want to know something else that's surprising? I was literally in tears during this segment. Even though you could hear me perfectly fine in the video, I was on the verge of choking up during my dialogue. Even the editing took longer than usual because I was crying throughout the whole process. I know that I made a lot of you sad and some even cry, and I truly do apologize for that, but there was really no other way I could have stated it. Many people question why I take Pokemon so seriously. Well, this is exactly why. This Darkrai showed me that not only Pokemon, but all living things and even robots are capable of complex thinking, making their own judgments, and even capable of loving others. I don't care if he's a fictional character or not. He means as much to me as whoever you hold dearest to. Ridicule me as you please. This is who I am. And this applies to everyone watching. If you're like me, and your hero is a fictional character that is not present in real life, don't let anyone tell you that it doesn't make sense or matter. You have every right to take it seriously. Because when a character like the Alamos Darkrai does something that truly affects you, you never forget it, and it truly does stay with you forever. If they can't show sympathy for your feelings, then you shouldn't do so for them. I know that I'm stretching this on and on, but I just wanted everyone to know that Darkrai really does mean that much to me. He's an emotionally beautiful character, and I honestly think that everyone should look past the frustration he gives everyone in the games and see him for what he truly is. He's a work of art.